writing in the back.
Yeah.
You probably brought your
Yeah.
petitioners too. Well, good for you.
We'll call tonight's Thursday, July the 10th, 2025, Howard County Board of Zoning Appeals meeting to order at this time. And the first most part of the business is approval of the minutes of the May 27th, 2025. Is there a motion on that?
So moved.
Is there a second? Motion made and second. All in favor? Okay, thank you. Motion carried. Mr. Sheeline, is any cases to be continued or?
No, both cases are to be heard. I want to let everybody know that per the state of Indiana, we have to start live streaming all public meetings. So you have a microphone in front of you. It's right now, it's muted. If it's red, if you want to speak, you need to hit that button to turn it on. And if I were you, I'd turn it back off when you're done speaking. That way you don't say anything too stupid, like I've done. So, but anyway, so we are live streaming tonight, so please keep that in mind when you get ready to speak. You need to unmute your microphone.
Is that the same here?
Yeah, if that mic's
one's
on red,
already
just hit
on.
the,
I left that one on.
So there's no green, red light there?
There's a green light there.
but we already turned it on.
Always on?
It's on.
Okay.
That's battery operated, and rather than have everybody fumbling looking for the button on the bottom, I thought I'd just leave it on.
Okay, Mr. Sheeline, would you like to present the first case, please?
Yeah, the first case tonight is case 5CV25, petition of Stephen Rhodes requesting a variance of 0.31 acres to Howard County zoning ordinance section 210, minimum lot area in order to establish a 0.69 acre parcel and a 0.886 acre parcel, and this is at 9156 West 200 South.
Okay, thank you. Is there someone here to represent the case? Tell your name and your address and give us a brief description of what you're asking for.
Stephen Rhodes, 10327 West, 200 South, Rushville, Indiana, and I'm a carpenter.
Okay. So you basically, you got some petitioner's findings. Would you like to read them in the minutes, please? Or we can have him to read them if you want to.
Yeah, you talking about the three questions?
Yes, sir.
Okay, it says the approval will not be injurious to the public health, safety, morals, and general welfare of the community. The proposal reduced lot size will not harm the public health, safety, morals, or general welfare of the community. And number two is the use and value of the area adjacent to the property, including in the variance, will not be affected in a substantially adverse manner. The reduced lot size will only impact the persons or persons who elect to purchase and live on the properties. The reduced sizes for the two lots will not have any impact on the adjacent area or negatively impact neighboring property owners. Any septic must still meet the standards set forth by the health department. And number three, the strict application of the terms of the zoning ordinance will result in practical difficulty. This situation shall not be self-imposed nor be based on the perceived reduction of or restrictions of economic gain. The petitioner's practical difficulty lies in the fact that he simply does not have enough land for two lots, but requires two lots. Once right-of-way is dedicated, the two lots will be 0.69 acres and 0.86 acres in size.
Okay, thank you.
I believe he read the staff findings.
Yeah, that's
Did
what
I?
I'm thinking too.
Yeah.
Yeah, you read the wrong one.
So you get to read again, sorry.
Oh, my gosh.
It says petitioner's findings.
Yeah,
Okay. Number one, the approval will not be injurious to the public health, safety, morals, and general welfare of the community. By a well-maintained residential structure of each lot parcel. Parcel 1 currently has a residential structure which is planned to be remodeled to a shop to go with the new residential structure. So number 2, the use and value of the area adjacent to the property included in the variance will not be affected in a substantially adverse manner, since the existing residential structure will be improved upon after all approval are obtained. And number 3, the strict application of the terms of the zoning ordinance will result in a practical difficulty. The situation shall not be self-imposed, nor be based on a perceived reduction of or restrictions of economic gain. It says Howard County is in need of smaller scale homes When all the approvals are obtained, this development will help with this situation.
Thank you, thank you.
All right.
Mr. Sheeline, would you like to read those, or?
Yeah, staff findings for case 5 CV 25. The approval will not be injurious to public health, safety, morals, and general welfare of the community. The proposed reduced lot sizes will not harm the public health, safety, morals, or general welfare of the community. The use and value of the area adjacent to the property included in the variance will not be affected in a substantially adverse manner. The reduced lot sizes will only impact the person or persons who elect to purchase and live on the properties. The reduced sizes for the 2 lots will not have an impact on the adjacent area or negatively impact neighboring property owners. Any septic must still meet the standards set forth by the health department. The strict application of the terms of this zoning ordinance will result in a practical difficulty. This situation shall not be self-imposed nor be based on a perceived reduction of or restriction of economic gain. The petitioner's practical difficulty lies in the fact that he simply does not have enough land for 2 lots, but requires 2 lots. Once right-of-way is dedicated, the 2 lots will be 0.69 acres and 0.86 acres in size.
Thank you. Anyone on the commission have any questions on this case?
Nope.
Does anyone in the audience have any questions on case 5 CV 25? Is there a motion then on this case from the commission?
Yeah, I make a motion that we approve case 5 CV 25.
Second.
Okay, motion made and seconded to approve case 5 CV 25. All in favor?
All right.
Aye.
Okay, motion carried. Thank you.
All right,
Thank
thank
you.
you guys. Thank you.
Mr. Sheeline, next case before us, please.
Yes, next case is case 2 CS 25, petition of Jennifer Katibi requesting a special exception permit in order to operate a wedding and event venue as a home occupation type 3. This is at 2874 South, 1150 East.
Okay, someone here to represent, tell your name and your address,
Hi, Alexis Cowan, 711 West Boulevard Street.
okay? And just give us a brief description of what you're looking for.
Yeah, so,
Can I hand, this is the site plan and elevation of the building?
Yeah, you could pass it
Sure.
to us. Yeah. Thank you.
Yeah, good job.
Okay,
so what we are looking to do is we are currently rural residential and we are requesting for a home occupation type 3 to operate a wedding and event venue in the space.
okay.
Petitioner's facts of finding, the proposal will not be injurious to the public health, safety, morals, and general welfare of the community. The proposed wedding venue will be operated with the utmost care to ensure the safety, health, and welfare of the community. The venue will comply with all applicable building, fire, health, and noise regulations to provide a secure and well-maintained environment for guests and neighbors alike. Events will be scheduled and managed to minimize traffic and disturbance, and the sound mitigation strategies will be implemented. The nature of the venue, a space for joyful, community-centered celebrations, will reflect positively on the morals and social well-being of the area. The requirements and development standards for the requested use as prescribed by the zoning ordinance will be met. The buildings meet the minimum requirements for front and side setbacks requirements on the zoning district. The development will fully comply with all requirements and development standards outlined in the zoning ordinance for a type 3 home occupation. This includes, but is not limited to, appropriate parking accommodations, traffic management, and adherence to hours of operation. All structures and improvements will be built to code. The granting of the exception will not be subvert the general purposes served by the zoning ordinance, will not be permanently injure other property or uses in the same district and vicinity. The wedding venue will maintain the peaceful and rural nature of the district. Throughout site planning and respect for quiet hours, will ensure no disruption to adjacent properties. The operation will preserve open space and existing natural features wherever possible. It will not diminish nearby property values or inhibit the enjoyment of neighboring residential or agricultural uses. Instead, it offers an opportunity for tasteful seasonal activity that enhances community connection. The proposed will be consistent with the character of the district therein, the spirit intent of the zoning ordinance, and the Howard County Comprehensive Plan. The proposed wedding venue supports the spirit of the zoning ordinance by introducing a low-impact, community-focused use that blends with the rural setting. The design will preserve natural features, maintain open space, and minimize noise and traffic, and uses of appropriate architecture and materials. This aligns with the comprehensive plan's vision for responsible and rural development.
Okay, thank you. Has anyone on the commission got any questions before we get to staff findings?
What's the parking capacity? I mean, roughly, I don't get it.
Yeah, it's around 110. Yeah, it's gonna be between 90 and 110 by the time we get all the handicap figured out, but in that area.
It looks like there's one other residential property on 1150 East, is that right?
But the existing building that it shows there?
Yeah.
Yeah, that'll be tore down.
Okay, all right, so no other residential property. All right.
Would you like to read the staff findings now, please?
Now, staff findings for case 2 CS 25, proposal will not be injurious to public health, safety, morals, and general welfare of the community. While there is some concern about traffic flow on the narrow lane that is 1150 East, the petitioner is working with the Highway Department to resolve these issues. The proposal will not create any other safety concerns. The facility will have a chapel, a pole barn, reception hall, and bridegroom suite. Security will be provided. The petitioner is also adding an appropriate parking area for the facility. The new structures will increase the value of the property. The requirements and development standards for the requested use as prescribed by this zoning ordinance will be met. The buildings meet the minimum requirements for front and side setback requirements in the zoning district. The petitioner plans to meet all required development standards, including square footage, setbacks, and parking standards. The petitioner will sign a memorandum of understanding that they will eventually live on the property as they operate the venue there. The granting of the exception will not subvert the general purposes served by this zoning ordinance and will not permanently injure other property or uses in the same district and vicinity. The new development on the property will increase the value of the property, much of which is unbuildable in the floodplain. Neighboring property owners may see an increase in traffic on event days, but should not be injured by this use. The proposed use will be consistent with the character of the district therein, the spirit and intent of this zoning ordinance and the Howard County Comprehensive Plan. The proposed wedding and event venue will be located in the heart of the large property, far enough from the neighboring homes to not be of concern. A rural farm-type event venue will be consistent with the character of the district as well as the spirit and intent of the ordinance. This proposed venue aligns with the comprehensive plan theme to preserve and enhance quality of life in Howard County.
Okay, thank you. I want to look over these drawings that he passed out.
So, and keep in mind, board members, there will be a site plan at some point in time.
Right.
A lot of the questions that have already been asked tonight will be answered during the site plan.
Okay, good. Any other questions from anyone on the board? Anyone in the audience have any question on this case? Tell us your name and where you live and give us your question.
Scott Hanner, 2839 South, 1150 East. I'm about 50 yards from the proposed venue, just down the street there. First off, you should have, and you had it in the minutes, the thoroughfare where they said there was approximately 4,479 cars per day on 1150 South. That's grossly inaccurate. I've lived there 13 years. You might have 6 to 10 cars a day, including the mail lady and the bus if the school's in session. This count was done on State Road 26, okay?
And
That's not even close.
If I remember correctly, it states that, does it not?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes, so I'm just hoping everybody's seen
Yeah.
that.
Yeah.
When we were here at the main
We
meeting,
don't take,
at the May meeting, we asked if the board could take the time to come take a look at this. Don't know if anyone did. This is a one-lane road, okay? If you look at NDOT says 19 to 24 feet wide is a two-lane road in the state of Indiana, depending on the volume. That's 13 feet wide. We're 6 feet short of the minimum. We've had a rollover accident out there in the 13 years I've been there. My wife was involved with it. I've got the police reports to show it. We're looking at a 100-seat venue that could be rented out 300 days a year. Hopefully, if there's a good plan in place, she would want to rent 300. You're talking about sending 30,000 cars a year to a one-lane road? We've got to use some common sense here.
Well, as was stated in our staff findings, they are working with the Howard County Highway Department to widen that road.
And that is-
I talked to Amber Toll this morning, the engineer, and she is working with the petitioner to get that accomplished. And again, that's something that would be answered during the site plan approval.
Right.
On whether that gets widened, how that's going to get widened, I should say.
Gotta be another public hearing.
Yeah, I agree. I've been out there, and that road is not
There.
wide enough. I agree with that 100%. So that's something that needs to get accomplished.
I'm not against Ms. Catalpi having a business by any stretch. But the board's responsibility, in my opinion, even though we've approved several of them all over Howard County, does it fit where we're putting it at the end of the day? And that's what I've got.
Thank you.
Thank you. Anyone else have stand up, tell your name and your address?
Gary Shelton, 3069 South, 1150 East. Need any more information before I speak?
Nope.
Okay. I live about a quarter mile away from the venue. Lived there for 30 years. When he plays his music loud, I hear it. I think you're the one that, right behind the graveyard across from my house. But, so the music being played in the venue will impact me. It upsets, keeps my wife awake. When he plays music, if they're playing music, it's gonna keep my wife awake. He made comment about the traffic. Yes, we get about 50, 60, 1150's two roads. There's one road that goes by his house in the venue, and then my road that's about a quarter mile, there's a jog on Center Road. And we get about 50 or 60 cars a day. So if you're gonna have 100 cars, 200 cars, come down that road. Now, when they close the bridge on 26, all the time, cars coming down the road. So we're gonna see a gross increase. And I hear you saying, we're gonna work with the board of NDOT or whatever, but you're making a decision before anything's been done about the roads. These are single-laid roads. We have to pull off to the side. And when two cars go by my house, and I'm right on the corner of Center Road and 1150, they pull off in the yard, and they put ruts in my yard. And when I mow the yard, I have to deal with the ruts. I don't want to deal with 100 cars, 150 cars going down my road off 26 to get to this venue on a daily, on a weekly basis. I just don't want to do that. We live out in the country, have for 30 years, and we enjoy the peace out there. I know Howard County is wanting to increase businesses, and we already have a new event center on 19 and Center Road. And just driving to town, that can be a hassle. And there's only like 60 or 70 cars that go out there. So the noise, the traffic, will there be an alcohol license there? Will you be serving alcohol? Yeah, so now we're gonna have people that have been drinking on our road at 9, 10, 11 o'clock at night, midnight. I don't know what time the event center closes. So extra traffic, people drinking and driving on our roads out in the country, extra noise. The roads aren't wide enough, and we don't want it. Do we not want it? No. We don't want it out there. I mean, I encourage businesses, but in this area, I've got $500,000 invested in my property. I own 3 acres out there. I don't want a quarter mile away, a venue with 200+ people, $1 million venue, and that's going to create a lot of business. I don't want it there. And other than the board voting this down, I shouldn't say this, but we could make it painful. And by that I mean we could go outside and, we go out there all the time, we shoot guns. We could shoot guns every night, all night, when they're having venues. I mean, we don't want to deal with this. So
And I'm sure they wouldn't want to deal with that.
I
either.
know. So
Works both ways.
Yeah.
I don't understand what shooting guns, why is that that be brought up in a venue like this?
Well, I'm
What's
just,
that mean?
okay, I told you I did not want to bring that up, but if you put a venue out there like that that puts traffic on our road with drunk drivers on our roads in our neck of the woods where we've been living for, I don't know how many years you've been living there, but 30 years. I enjoy going out and sitting on my front porch and just watching, a car go by every hour. I don't want to watch 50 cars go by an hour. I don't want to see traffic impeded with no guarantee they're going to widen the road. I don't want it to widen the road. I don't. I enjoy it the way it is. I'll pull over to the side. But now we're talking about putting 200 cars a night into the venue, out of the venue, drinking, noise, quarter-mile from my house. I don't like it. And these people don't like it. And there's Shane Campbell would like to be here tonight. He doesn't like it, and he owns a lot of property around there. So that the people that live in this community that you're going to be making this decision for, none of them want it, except the people that own this piece of property that they've inherited. I assume you've inherited it from your mother.
She grew up there 40 years.
Huh?
She grew up there for 40 years. She's been there. She was born there.
Hey, guys.
That's okay.
If you're gonna,
One
if
time.
you're gonna speak, you gotta come to the microphone.
Okay, I'm
This
sorry.
is being live streamed, so please, if you're gonna speak, come to
So
the microphone.
that's
Thank
how
you.
I feel about it. I don't want it there. I encourage business in Howard County, but in my neck of the woods, I mean, if they were opening a kennel out there or a flower shop or something like that, but when you open a wedding venue, you're bringing in tons of traffic on roads, and you can't sit there as the board and say, well, maybe NDOT will widen the roads. First of all, we don't want the roads widened, but secondly, until you know that for sure, you can't even make this decision that you're considering right now. And, you're going to put that many people on these country roads near our homes, drinking, loud music. We don't want it. So that's all I have to say.
Thank you. Couple of comments. Number one, just because we have 100 lot parking lot doesn't mean there's going to be 100 cars there. Doesn't mean it's going to be there every single day. And all this board is deciding tonight is whether they can have a special exception. If people are concerned about the width of the road, things of that nature, that will all be brought up at another public hearing where site plan is approved or not. So all this board is voting on tonight is the special exception. I'll say two other things, and you're probably not going to believe me when I say this, but I will tell you. I've been doing this job for 15 years. We have a lot of wedding venues in Howard County. My office has never received one complaint from any of the wedding venues. And the reason being is because we make anyone who has a wedding venue, any business for that matter, we make them do a business plan. And Ms. Katibi has done the same thing. There's a business plan that she estimates how many weddings she's going to have, what time the music is going to be shut off. So if those things aren't followed, if everything goes through and she builds the wedding venue out there and those things aren't followed, the beauty about this board is you can complain, we can bring it back before the board, and if they're not following their business plan, this board can revoke the special exception. So there is a fail-safe, if you want to call it that. Just wanted to let you know, so.
Come up and say your name and your address, please, for the record.
My name is Dan Seagrave. I live at 2565 South, 1150 East, right around the corner, less than a quarter mile the way the crow flies from said venue. Gentlemen and ma'am, do you not have a responsibility to the public for safety? You do, don't you? And what you're trying to plan on here, as you have heard testimony to, is the fact that the road is no ways near compatible. Okay? But that's not my biggest concern. As a property owner, I own right at 60 acres along 1150. And nothing makes me any madder than picking up trash, because some people like to throw stuff out. Some of the neighbors that used to live and cut through there are no longer doing that. No, I didn't have anything to do with it, but by the grace of God, I don't have that problem. But what I'm going to tell you, you're going to have to use common sense on. I know Jennifer does not want to create a problem for any of us neighbors. I understand that. I've known her since she was a wee little kid. Okay? I have lived where I live now since 1994. 6, 8, sometimes a dozen cars a day, you got a traffic jam. That's how busy this area is. And I know she will do absolutely nothing to create a problem. But she can't protect us from the people that use the venue. And oh, by the way, hey, last call, let's grab a rider. Chug it down, throw it out the window, right? I'm not going to be picking up trash from a common nuisance, and that's what this will end up being. That's my fear, okay? So I'm saying this. I know what you're doing tonight. I see no reason for a business exemption at this point. I don't think there's enough knowledge amongst all of us, myself included, as to the exact parameter that's going to be displayed here.
This is the first step in the process.
I
sir.
realize that.
So
but-
there is a reason for it tonight.
Okay.
Because if you don't have this, it can't happen.
Yeah.
So this is the first step. That's, sorry, but this is the first step.
Okay.
And again, yep.
I understand your way of doing things, and I'll grant you that, and I'll be back if that
Okay,
need be.
That's
But-
perfectly fine.
But remember, the safety of the public is in your hands, not NDOT. This is a county matter. This is not a highway matter. This
We
is a county
understand that,
matter.
sir.
Yeah.
Is that right?
Yep.
Okay. Let's
No.
call it the way it is. Okay? Gentlemen, that's all I have for now.
Thank you.
Any other questions from anyone in the audience? Well, I got somebody else coming.
Yeah.
Go after him.
I'm James Simpson. We live at 9037 East, 300 South, and we've been there since 1987. My concern is, and I don't live close, but I pick up enough trash, as all these farmers know. You pick up a lot of trash. My concern is, and I know exactly where the property is, I keep bees down along in that area. And what my concern is, if they got, whether they blacktop this thing or stone or whatever, where's the runoff going to go? Because there's a branch right of the Wildcat Creek right below that. I can't even get a county tile fixed at my house. So,
All I can tell you is that once they file for site plan approval, it has to be approved by the county drainage board. So they'll look at the drainage. Well, sir, I'm just
Yeah.
telling you how it is.
I understand.
Just telling you
I know
how
how
it
it
is.
is too. So
Again.
that's my concern of any pollution that goes down from this venue.
Yeah.
Because the water's going to go down. Thank you.
Thank you.
Any other questions from the,
I don't have any questions, but I do have some comments.
well, you
You
need to
need
come,
to come up to
stand
the
up
microphone, ma'am.
and tell us your name and address, ma'am.
Yes, I will. I would like to introduce myself. I'm Pamela Carpenter, and my husband Stephen Carpenter, who was the former Union Township trustee out there. And Steve and I,
What's your address, please?
oh, I'm sorry, 3502 South, 1100 East, as the crow flies, maybe a mile from the venue. Steve and I lost our home 3 years ago to fire, and as luck would have it for us, we met Jenny, and we got to live in the property while our new home was being built there. And I would like to say that we are in support of this cause. I feel it would be an added benefit out there, because who knows, we haven't had any good benefits for a long time. On 1100 East, we're getting ready for over 2,000 acres of farmland to be put with solar panels. So it pretty well takes the prettiness out of the area. But at least, we could have a venue out there that could serve people and would be beautiful, because I know Jennifer's home, it is gorgeous. That's Jennifer. That's the way she was raised. And I would like to say also that if there is a family deserving of having this approved, it would be this family. Jennifer, I don't know if you know, she is a veteran. She served in the United States Coast Guard, and she is what makes me proud to be an American. And I thank her for defending our freedoms, because that's exactly what she did when she signed up and she took that oath of office. And I would like to also say that the venue will improve the properties out there, will improve the property values, not only her property, but the value of other people's out there. And as far as traffic in the area, there's no heavier trafficked area than 1100 East, I can tell you that. Plus the fact that the only thing that I can say that I heard in the year that I lived in Jenny's house was we were sitting on the patio and I kept hearing this motor. I thought, this is a big truck running somewhere. So I grabbed Steve's golf cart and went out looking. Lo and behold, it was a Duke Energy truck. Run, run, run. I don't know what it was doing back there, but it was back there. And the Duke Energy truck lives there, so it doesn't have any problem getting down the roads with other cars, because I have passed it myself on that road. If you come off of Road 300 and take the curve and do the curve there, you don't even go by all of these other people's houses. You bypass them all. There are no houses on that short length of road other than Jenny's house and her grandmother's, where they're wanting to put the venue. But I'm hoping, beyond all hope, that you people can approve this for this girl, as she will use this site to make a living for herself and her family. And I think it would be a beautiful thing to happen out there. We haven't had much beauty out there happen lately, that's for sure.
Thank you.
And-
Any other questions?
Well, I'm just going to say, folks, keep in mind, again, this is the first start of the process. There are still several other public hearings. This property has to be subdivided yet, has to have a site plan, and we're rezoning part of it too, correct? So
Right.
this is the first of many, go ahead, sir, come on up. This is the first of many public hearings, is what I'm saying. So if this is not the last time you'll have to let your thoughts be known.
Unless we don't approve this, correct?
That's true. That's
Yeah,
true.
if this is,
Correct? I mean,
if this
it
isn't
can't stop
approved,
tonight, correct?
yes, that's correct.
Because we just keep talking about how much further we're gonna go, like everybody's already got their mind made up here, and it's
No,
like,
that's not what I'm saying.
No.
I'm trying,
we understand that there's more processes if this moves forward
okay,
tonight.
all right, then I won't say anymore. I'm just, because most people don't. That's why I try to tell people, no, I don't know what, I'm not a voting member. I have no idea what these 5 gentlemen are going to vote tonight. That's none of my concern. I'm just saying.
I was just making that clear, on record.
If this is voted for, there will be other public meetings.
There's a process, procedure.
I understand that.
First stage 1.
I understand.
And, you know, all these other comments are really should be like phase 2 and 3. I mean, it really is, because this is just one thing. And I, like you say, though, if it's turned down, it's turned down. But if it isn't, it goes to phase 2.
I understand.
The next step.
Okay.
Thank you.
I'd like to say one more thing for you. Can I?
Yes, sir.
Okay, so, I had a granddaughter born recently. We like to take her out on walks. We take her down Center Road, we take her down 1150, take her out in her stroller, and when the car's coming, you just get off to the side of the road. Now, and we've been doing this, I've got multiple grandkids, but we've been doing this for years. Now we're going to turn this area into a high-traffic area. And, you know, at $1 million, you got to have multiple events a year, lots of events a year. You got to have lots of cars out there. Now you're going to turn it into a high-traffic area, and it's just not something. You know, you guys have a note in here in your bylaws. The goal of Howard County Comprehensive Plan Thoroughfare is to promote vehicular transportation by way of a physical network of roads to strive to mitigate traffic congestion, unsafe roadways, and intersections, as well as to ensure that alternative transportation provides a safe, appropriate, and aesthetically pleasing system in conjunction with the thoroughfare plan. What you're going, if you pass this, if you vote on this, I know there's other votes that go down the road. You are basically saying, in this area of Howard County, we're going to allow high-volume traffic and screw the people that live there. If they're used to walking their dogs down the road, if they're used to walking a stroller with their grandkids down the road and enjoying, you know, 1 or 2 cars going by an hour, not going to happen anymore. We're going to turn it into a business. We're going to turn it into a high-volume area. So that's all I got.
Any other comment? Tell your name and your address, please.
Hi, gentlemen, ladies. My name is Sophia Seagrave. I live at 2565 South, 1150 East. I'm a night owl. That might not mean anything to you. I love Jennifer's mom. I think she's an excellent person, and I don't want to take anything away from her. But I'm out at night. I'm out 2, 3 o'clock in the morning walking my dogs. You know, I'm a dog lover. I'm a nature lover, all that. I don't want people going by from other areas, and I don't want to be out there and not feel safe in my own home. And I hope you can appreciate that. I don't want to take anything away from her. We have lots of natural beauty. Come look at our house. I have over 13 flower beds. We're always out there. We keep everything up. I wouldn't mess with anyone else's property, but I don't want anybody out there messing with my stuff and making me feel unsafe in my home. I can sit on my deck. I don't bother my neighbors. They can tell you. I respect everybody, but I want people to respect us too and how we feel. We live there for a reason. We want to be out in the country. We want to have peace. We want to have quiet, and we don't bother anybody, and that's all I'm asking you to consider for us also. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. Any other comments for?
We both go up.
Yeah. Tell your name and your address, please.
Hi, I'm John Beachy with Mar Design, 711 West Boulevard, Kokomo. We're the architects, and this is the owner.
Good evening. I'm Jennifer Katibi. I reside at 8614 West.
Wait a second. Can I do something? Can I hand these people the site plans? I mean, they're just thinking of,
Sure.
just to give you an idea.
Absolutely.
Is that, I'll take it. Does anyone?
As long as I understand it's not been approved yet, yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
This is conceptual. And
Proper word.
You can go ahead, Jennifer. if you
Yeah.
want to.
Okay. I reside at 8614 West, 200 South, Bruceville, Indiana, and appreciate getting the opportunity to present our proposed project this evening. We are requesting the special exemption for home occupation type 3 to operate the wedding and event venue at my property located at 2874 South, 1150 East in Greentown. The property belonged to my mother, who passed away in 2021. It's been my childhood home. I grew up there. And of course, the property holds very deep meaning and deep roots for me and my family. We view this next chapter as a tribute to my mother and an honor to carry that legacy forward in a way that brings joy to others while preserving the peace and character of the community. The proposed venue will also be a way to ensure that the property that has been part of our family since the 1930s can remain in our family for hopefully generations to come. Our venue would be intentionally designed to complement its rural, beautiful wooded setting while providing a one-of-a-kind option for couples to host their weddings and gather with family and friends. With our thoughtful intentional pricing, management policies, which include respectful hours of operations, observing quiet hours, and appropriate parking and security provisions, the Promise of 2912 will host elevated events that can be celebratory without being disruptive. During construction, establishing operations, and when events are being held, I or my husband, most likely both of us, would be on site. We are deeply invested in this property and project, and we will be personally involved in ensuring that events are thoughtfully managed and properly executed. We believe the venue would be a lasting benefit to the community by supporting local small businesses that work together to execute amazing events. The venue would attract out-of-town guests who will also support Howard County's local business, both within the wedding industry and outside of the industry. For us, it's not only about weddings. We look forward to working with local charities and foundations, hosting benefits, and collaborating with them within our capacity. As a veteran of the United States Coast Guard, I am passionate about recognizing fellow veterans and active duty service members for their service, sacrifice, and duty. We intend to offer special pricing for our veterans and service members, and once operations are well established, we would be excited to host one wedding every year for a veteran or service member at no charge to honor and thank them for their service. My husband and I eloped. I was broken as a joke. Our service members are far away from home, can't get their families to them, so it would be a great honor. The Promise of 2912 will be committed in giving back to the community. We truly appreciate your time and consideration, are committed to working with the board and the county on any appropriate conditions on all aspects of this proposed project. There was a couple concerns that were raised by our neighbors, and I can understand those concerns. I would just like the board to know that my husband and I didn't just think this would be a neat idea and not think through everything that this contains. This property is almost like holy ground to me. I wouldn't do anything to devalue that property, my own property, let alone anyone else's. So the property is secluded. It is very secluded. When you're on the property, that doesn't take away that there are surrounding properties. But we've spent 3 years researching. We have flown out of state, meeting with other ground-up venue owners who built from the ground up, worked alongside them, ran events with them to see with our own eyes. I had to be convinced, how can I do this tastefully, tactfully, without disrupting peace, and while still being able to run a business that provides joy to others. I wouldn't be here tonight if I found that result when I got on an airplane and flew to Kansas. I wouldn't be standing here asking for this if I found out in my own mind this would never fly out there, because it's the last thing I'd want to do. Traffic, the parking, our max capacity would be 200. The average wedding guest count in Indiana is between 110 and 120. Using the people per car ratio, that leads about 75 to 85 cars with that average guest count. If we were on an occasion to fill to capacity and there's 200 guests, there still wouldn't be 200 vehicles traveling the roads. It's usually a person and a half per car or 2 people per car. So it would be about half of the guests attending. It was addressed, and I know this is for later, but we are working with the county to find a remedy if that is a concern. I too counted cars. That road is the mailman, I used to check the mail when I was little in my pajamas. You were safe. I counted 6 hours. A couple weeks ago, I was out on property maintaining, counting cars. There was one motorcycle traveling east and another one traveling west, 4 hours apart in that 6 hour span of time. So there would be increased traffic coming and going, and we're talking probably the average of 75 to 100 cars per event. Litter was brought up. Alcoholic beverage canisters thrown. I get this when I mow the property in question, and also where I currently reside, which is in a very nice rural area. I'm picking up beer bottles, liquor bottles. It makes me very angry. These are blatant people who are disregarding the law. Unfortunately, it's something I deal with, and I don't think we would necessarily be the cause of finding such things, litter and empty bottles, because I pick them up and there's nothing around. There's no businesses around my home, my current home. There's no businesses currently around there. It's constant. We are adamant we would have security, 1 security guard per 100 guests. And yes, we would apply for a caterer's liquor license, but we feel with security, our watchful eye, some of these things can be mitigated. And definitely licensed, experienced bartenders would be employed as well.
Okay, thank you.
Oh, and one more thing. I know we had just talked to Mr. Beachy about going through some plans and everything, that we are willing and actually want to put a berm all along the west side of the property. That would be the line of sight from Mr. and Mrs. Seagraves, Mr. and Mrs. Hanner, and plant that berm with beautiful landscaping and evergreens. It would block their line of sight, it would block our line of sight, and it would dampen sound from both directions.
Yeah, the music will be inside, but we're gonna put that berm just for extra precautions in regards to music and sight. So the whole west side will be a berm. And I know that's in site plan approval, if that goes there. But, and I've talked personally to the county engineer in regards to the road. So, I mean, we've got a bunch of options we're talking about, you know, dumping riprap on the south side, coming into the property. And Amber feels, the county engineer feels very confident we can achieve that. And the owners will have to flip in on the cost of that, half of that cost, but I think that's something we can achieve.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah,
Thank you.
thank you.
Is there any more questions from anyone in the audience before we? Okay, how about the board members? Do you guys have questions?
Site plan approval contingent upon road widening or whatever.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
So the site plan approval will encompass the entire roadway, not just right in front of the property boundary or anything?
Correct.
Okay.
There has to be some, it sounds like between Ms. Katibi and the county, there has to be some kind of an agreement for that road. So that will have to happen before site plan can be approved.
I got a comment I want to make on the road situation.
Stand up and talk through the microphone. All right.
This will be our last comment.
Yeah,
folks.
last
Somebody
comment.
got up and said they live on 1100, and 1100 is a heavily traveled road. Got it. 1200, not sure about that. 1150 between 26 and Center Road, not so traveled. So, and Russ, you commented that, you know, not just in front of the property. 1150 between 26 and Center Road is a 1.5 lane road. It's not a 2-lane road. So I would hope that before your concerns were about the road width, that you wouldn't do this unless you increased 1150 between 26 and Center Road, because that's where people are going to turn. If you Google, you know, you do a MapQuest or whatever, and you go down 26, they will inevitably turn on 1150. Which has a jog in it, a dangerous jog, but they'll go down that road.
I do know the road will be, if it's agreed upon downstream, will be right for safety. We have a lot of, in our communities, in rural communities, we call them bus lanes, you know, and basically just wide enough for a bus to go through.
That's
and
the
everybody else
road.
pulls over. But in this situation, if that road has to be widened for a 2-lane road, it'll be widened.
Okay, well, I just wanted to make sure they didn't say 1100, they'll go down that,
Yeah.
they'll go down 1200.
And it'll
'cause
be
they will-
whatever from A to B or A to Z, whatever is necessary. The engineers will work on that to make that safety-wise, safety-proof.
So is that gonna be if it goes through today, and you're gonna give them approval to potentially open a business, there will be a mandate that 1150
Again,
gets
the next
opened.
phase,
That-
the next phase
That
does
That is
that.
up to the county engineer.
That's right, it's not up to us.
This board cannot make that
No.
promise. That would be up to the county engineer.
But-
She is well aware of this project.
Do you vote on this decision
Not,
with or without knowing that she will or will not
Because
increase?
this is just for the special exception.
I understand.
This has nothing to do with
That's
site
right.
plan approval.
Russ brought up a point about in the future.
and he
about
wanted
the
to confirm
roads.
about the road width for the next step.
I did too, and I was
Yeah.
asking about 1150 because
That's why we have
there's
a-
two 1150s. There's the 1150
Right.
they
Yeah.
live on,
Understand.
1150 I live on.
Right.
And neither one of them are very wide.
Any other comments from the commission? There's no more comments from the commission. What's the motion for this case? Now, when you're on a commission, there's two things. You put the vote forward, and then you vote on it, and it's one yay or nay. So the vote coming forth, or the motion coming forth, is just put it on the table so we can vote on the issue. So you gotta have a motion before you can vote yay or nay on the issue. So basically what I'm asking for is
A motion.
a motion to bring this forth for a vote.
I make a motion, we approve case 2, CS 25.
Okay? Second. Motion made and seconded to approve case 2 CV 25. All in favor of that motion? Say yes or no.
Aye.
Yes.
Any opposed? Okay, no, that's passed then. Okay, the motion's been passed. We move it to the next step. And Mr. Sheeline's office will keep everybody informed of all the procedures going through there. But again, these are the step processes that the state has allowed that we have to follow. And one thing about this board, we want to make sure every person has an opportunity to express himself. And, you know, the bottom line, that's why we always call again, is there another opportunity? We let everyone talk that wants to talk. Okay?
Thank you.
Any other business before you, Mr. Sheeline?
Mr. President, I have no other business. I know Mr. Simone, and this is more for the board than it is for Mr. Simone. He was here a couple of weeks ago and wanted to make a comment. Obviously, we had to cancel the meeting because we didn't have a full board. So just so everybody understands, this board does, since this is a quasi judicial board, we do not normally take public comment that doesn't have anything to do with the cases on the agenda. But in this case, we're going to allow Mr. Simone, but there will be no discussion between the board and Mr. Simone.
Right.
He can just state his comments and just so everybody's on the same page.
Gotcha, I appreciate it.
Okay?
All right, so it's, I'm Brad Simone from Eastern Howard County. I'd like to hand out some information
Sure.
to the board members, please. Thank you. All right. So I'm here tonight to present you guys some evidence concerning NG Emerald Green Solar LLC's special exception permit. As you can see, Emerald Green applied, if you open that first tab, you can see that Emerald Green applied for their special exception in January 2023, and it was approved in February 2023. In the middle of that permit, it states that the full statement of the special exception applied for under Howard County Ordinance 2009 BCCO-21, all amendments there too. Emerald Green's attorney signed this permit, and it states right there that she understood it and the county's ordinances. That's very important. Now, if you turn the page, the next document's an email from me to Mr. Sheeline on June 16th and 17th of this year, and I asked Mr. Sheeline if NG had applied, not approved, nothing approved. I just want to know if they applied for a building permit. Mr. Sheeline admitted several times on the record that NG did not apply for a building permit. And let's be clear, I'm talking about an application and not an approved application. This is something that could have been turned in February 2023 through June of 2023, and the county could have sat on that application, right, until approval is needed. Now, if you turn to the next page, that's going to be the minutes from that BZA meeting when we approved their special exception permit. And I provided that because if you read through, there's nowhere within these minutes that it is ever mentioned of extending the application of the building permit. The only thing that was extended, and it says it right on the special permit, the only thing that extends was the beginning of the construction, and it had to be started by the end of this year, okay? So lastly, I want, you turn the page to the next page, I want to present to you Howard County's own ordinance. It's 2009 BCCO-21, Article 7, page 160, letter M, says, and I quote, "The board grants special exception, it shall direct the applicant to apply for a building permit and/or location improvement permit within 4 months, or that special exception will be void." Now, I've heard a lot of things about these projects are too big, we can't do these timeframes. There was no time frame, guys. They just had to have their application and nothing had to be approved, right? That's all it was. So we can't make up the rules, right? We don't have the authority to make up our rules. We can't change the zoning ordinance because we don't like it. There's procedure that has to be done to change ordinances. And whatever's written, it has to be followed. If not, we create problems in the county when it comes to our ordinances. Nobody's going to want to follow an ordinance if it's we pick and choose who can follow. So Emerald Green had no solar permit application turned in within this time frame after gaining their special use permit. The special use permit from February 2023 should be voided, and they should be required to reapply for that special exception by the county's own ordinance. And while we're at it, you're not going to believe this. Ranger, Locomotive Solar, they got their special permit 1 month later, and they have not applied either. They didn't get their application for a building permit in either. And I brought this ordinance violation before the county commissioners this past Monday. And they asked Mr. Wilson to provide counsel when they voted on the economic agreement. And he remained silent because he refused to help them because he stated, "I had an attorney." Well, to be clear, I currently am not represented. This is a known fact by our own county attorney. But when I did have an attorney present with me at the planning commission meeting, Mr. Wilson was very open and willing to provide advice. So what I'm trying to do tonight is I'm trying to prevent a lawsuit, from being filed against the county. I live here. I don't want my tax money being spent in a court for violations. But every board so far I've been to, they've ignored me and my evidence. So today, I'm here tonight, and I'm asking that a motion be made and voted on stating that NG and Ranger both have violated our ordinance and not complied, and they need to come back before this board and regain that special exception permit. So, will this BZA follow the laws?
Yeah, we appreciate your comments. All I know is this, we have an attorney, and I can't answer that part of it. He's the
Guys.
one that can answer that. But the thing is, we voted, this committee voted for that and approved it. And that's all we can do,
I understand that. But if you look at your ordinance, right there, down 2 letters, letter O,
right?
this board can terminate that special exception permit if they did not follow the ordinance. I just showed you
I agree.
they have not followed the ordinance.
But we still have to go on the recommendation of our attorney, because that's why he steps on the board meeting. He has to tell us, we can't just sit here and deny something right from the start. We got to go through him, because he's the one that's got to say, hey, we're in compliance to the law, or we're not in compliance to the law.
I understand. I'm just saying, when I read that.
He's got to call the shot on that, not us.
I don't think you need a law degree to understand that first sentence in that ordinance.
I understand what you said.
So I'm asking for a motion and be voted on. Somebody make a motion and say, hey, he's right.
Here
They
again,
do not have, they're not in compliance. So can somebody make a motion for
the
me, guys?
attorney is the one that's got to give us recommendation.
I don't think you can make a motion because you were not on the original agenda.
It takes a public hearing.
Yes, it
Yeah.
would take a public hearing like we just went through to have that done.
Okay,
Okay?
understood.
All right,
I guess we will talk about it again.
okay.
Any other business before us?
No other business from me.
Alan, you got any business before us?
Nothing tonight.
Okay, no more business. I need a motion to adjourn.
I make a motion.
Second? Adjourn.
Did somebody else beat me again?
Yeah, no one
I
beats
gotta
you.
get quicker?
You gotta speak up quick, man.
Hey, I'm new, okay? I'm
Guess I should have maybe said too, when you try to get on.
You
the
know what,
agenda, they
what's
won't-
amazing is, it's hard to follow through every one of them cases. I see on that venue, we had two vendors, is that one or 19? 19 was in a row. We got 19.